So this morning we're spending some time with the Nhlanguleni female. She's resting up in one of the most spectacular marula trees. And what's pretty unique and special about this particular sighting is the very first leopard I ever photographed at Londolozi was the Nhlanguleni female, and it was in this exact same tree. So a little bit nostalgic and amazing to see her up here. A great sighting nonetheless. It is a very warm morning, so she's just resting in the shade here, but her belly does look pretty thin, so I'm pretty sure at some point this morning she's going to come down and possibly try and skirt along the edges of the thickets, trying to find any potential prey. Just like we thought, she came right down, pausing for a minute right in the V there. So we'll stay with her for a little bit longer, but we don't want to inhibit any of her hunting. If she does go into some of the thicker stuff, we'll probably just leave her and hope that she is successful. It was very difficult to tell, but from the looks of it, it doesn't look as though she has any suckle marks. So we don't know if she's lost her cubs. Sadly, we haven't been able to find that den. We believe she's been keeping her cubs in the river, and it's pretty inaccessible in the area where we think the den is. What we'll try and do is keep searching for her, seeing if there's any tracks of her going back and forth into the same area. And if we get to see her again, we'll try and have a look if there's any suckle marks. And that'll help us then determine whether she does still have cubs. So she's just headed off into some of the thicker stuff behind us here. She's been scent marking along the way, and with the belly looking that empty, she looks as though she's pretty set on hunting. We don't want to reduce her chances by adding any extra pressure with us being around. A great sighting nonetheless. We're going to leave her now, hope that she's successful in her endeavors this morning. This afternoon we've got some very exciting news in that we're sitting with 12 of the Ntsevu sub-adults, and with them is one of the Birmingham Males. This is the first time we're actually putting a story out on the Birmingham Males in probably about 3 months, because they haven't been on the property long enough for us to get across there and see them and actually put something together. But he's looking in pretty good condition. These lines are pretty much spread out all around here. Everywhere we can see there's a lot of shade, so they've been resting in the shade for the most part of today. So some of the females off to the side here, they've got their heads up, they're grooming a lot, stretching, so it's probably just a matter of time before they start moving off. There is a big water hole a couple 100 meters away that direction, so we're not going to follow them just yet, even though they may go for a drink, because what we want to see is this male lifting up his head and just being able to see exactly what condition he's in. These sub-adults have grown tremendously, and they're almost the same size as one of the big males. Obviously they don't have the full mane development just yet.
No. For a prawn tucker.
So they're all up now. The male's lifted his head, but all of the sub-adults are all walking off in the direction of that waterhole. So we'll give it 2 seconds, hoping that he stands up and follows suit. And if he does, then we'll follow them all across there. They're deep into Londolozi now, so it's great to see that the Birmingham male is back here. It looks as though it's the healthier one, and so we're not too sure where his brother is or if he's actually around or possibly going to come back onto Londolozi. But we'll definitely keep a good lookout for him and hopefully see him in the next few days to see what condition he's in. The Nzanga males, we believe, have headed back further south, and so maybe the Birmingham males haven't heard them calling around here, so they feel it's safe to come back and try and reclaim this territory. So it appears as though the sub-adults have stopped about 50 to 100 meters just over that side. This male's gone back to sleep here, so what we're going to do is go sit with the sub-adults there. There is some elephants pretty close to them. Had a pretty epic interaction there with the elephants and the sub-adults. The mother elephant with about a 5-year-old calf, and they came in and drove the lions away, and they all came walking right past the vehicle, which is pretty awesome. They then met up with the male, and we then heard some contact calls coming from another lion a bit further east of us.
Yeah, but
And before we knew it, one of the adult females then arrived in, and there was a bit of greeting between all of them. They've got up and now walked a bit further west. but just great to see that this Birmingham male is in such impeccable condition. I guess every time we do see these Birmingham males, it makes us ask the question, is this the last time that we're going to see them? The sub-adults are now pretty proficient hunters, so they're able to get by on their own and not necessarily rely on their mothers for any help with the hunts. But there's a big storm brewing in the background there, so we're going to leave it here and start heading back towards camp. So on our way home, we've just found the Maxim's male sitting right next to the road. But it's just phenomenal to see the difference between the Maxim's male at night and the Maxim's male during the day. During the day, he's very skittish, trying to hide away from the vehicles, behind the grass, behind any bushes. Now he's out in plain sight, hardly even perturbed by the vehicle. Looks as though he's on a bit of a territorial patrol. He's stopping, he's scraping his feet through the grass. And so it's just great to see him.